Kellen, when this time of year there's head coaching interviews coming up and that kind of thing, how do you balance that side of it with obviously preparing for the game?
Yeah, you don't worry about it too much. Really, the focus on the week, and those things take care of themselves. Obviously, those things only come to teams who usually tend to have success and are doing things well on the field, and so that's where your focus is.
When you look back on this season, because you've gotten a couple interview requests, that means you've had some success. What are you most proud of about this offense as a whole?
It's a really fun group, a really tight group that really works well together. Has a lot of fun doing this, and I thought our guys, throughout the season, you're gonna have a lot of different waves of highs and lows, and the way our guys handle those are phenomenal, and the way the games play out, the style that we play, our guys have embraced each other and embraced how we've played.
What stands out about the first matchup between you and Green Bay, now you look back at it offensively?
Long time ago first. I think both teams evolve. Certainly when you play a full season, that's the first one, and now we're into the playoffs. And so a lot has happened since then. So certainly it's something you take account for as far as, we're both on the field at the same time, but a lot of things have changed. Really competitive game. Obviously they did a phenomenal job. They created turnovers. They did a really good job. We were fortunate to come out of that thing with a win. And so there's a lot of good things that came out of it.
Is there a difference at all when you're game planning for a playoff game instead of a regular season game?
Pretty much the same formula.
Is it a little different, obviously, this week because you're not sure yet of the quarterback, and how much time do you have to devote? Now it seems possibly 3 quarterbacks that could play on Sunday.
Very similar to how we handle most teams. Obviously, there's always circumstances each and every week of different players. Certainly, the quarterback's a very big focus, and certainly should be. But there's other positions we've dealt with this where you're kind of aware of those different variables.
Going back to that first game against Green Bay, did you have an idea of just how effective Saquon could be in the offense? I mean, I know he carried the ball like 24 times that game and stuff, but did you foresee him being as, big enough part of the offense as he became?
Certainly, we had big expectations, and certainly we loved everything that Saquon done through the offseason until you get on the field and experience it firsthand. Obviously, there's obviously an element of excitement coming out of that game, just how we performed in the run game, Saquon performed. There's a lot of excitement moving forward.
I know this past game here was mostly backups, but you had a lot of success with Undercenter play action, and that's not something you've done a lot this year. What has made that less prevalent throughout the season when the starters have been on the field?
It's a good question. Every week, just the game plans are going to be focused on tying things together, run game, pass game. Obviously, I thought Taryn did an excellent job just in the action game. With the movements and some of the drop back stuff within the action game. Great timing rhythm. He did a really good job, and certainly we've done those at other game plans throughout the season, and so we'll just see where it takes us for this week as well.
Did you communicate with Jaylen today about the game?
Yeah, certainly we've all of us have been in continuous conversations. We always are, and so excited about that.
That first matchup, you're going up against a new defensive coordinator. Just curious, obviously to some degree you're guessing what they're going to do. Just curious how close you came to what you thought they were going to do, and how different they might have been.
We certainly anticipated there was going to be a lot of unknown going into that game. Just with the watching Boston College and watching other teams around the NFL and projecting what could or could not happen. That's going to happen week one anyways, no matter who you play. Certainly there was a lot of unknown with this one. And certainly as the season has progressed, you see that they evolve just like everyone else. And so certainly when you have a lot more film, you can evaluate that and anticipate a few more things. But just like every team, there's going to be some flavor. There's going to be a little bit of something different going into a playoff game that they'll present us and try and stress us, on our side of it.
Any concern with Jaylen? Any concern about rust with Jaylen after not playing for most of 3 games?
No. I think our guys do an excellent process here as far as you kind of let the medical side take care of their business, and we do our side of it as far as anything we can do to help anticipate this.
And to follow up on Saquon from earlier, you guys have been leaning on the run, not just for more than the Eagles have done recently, but in your career. So week to week, what did you lean on in terms of what answers there were, or was this all a lot kind of a new experience for you?
Certainly, as we've gone through this season, you're going to find formulas that work and try and lean into those and understand that it's not going to match each and every week. But I think our guys do an excellent job of being a really physical football team, and our run game certainly has embraced that. And I think what our guys have done a really good job of is second half, 4-minute style football. Grinding games out where we have these long drives late in games. Certainly that's shown up a lot, and those are heavy run situations, and you throw the ball when you have to in those circumstances, and they've done a really nice job there.
If you do get a head coaching job this year, what is something that you've learned from this season with the Eagles that you think will help you going forward?
Just been a great experience here. Obviously, working with Nick, I think what Nick does an excellent job of is leading this team from an emotional and element and leadership element, but also just the game management and how he manages the game, manages it throughout the week. Our situational football, as much time as we invest in that, he does an excellent job with it. And so it's been a really fun process for me.
You mentioned the evolution of their defense, learning a new coordinator. They also had some injuries, the evolution from that, even a trade, but they finished pretty strongly. What are you most impressed with that defense?
Yeah, it shows they're doing an excellent job from a coaching staff standpoint, but also from a player standpoint of really finding their formula. Everyone's always trying to find formulas that work for them. These guys are doing an excellent job. Obviously they're top in a lot of categories. They're doing excellent on third downs. They're keeping the ball in front of them. They're doing a really good job from that standpoint. They're doing some good stuff in the run game to kind of stress you a little bit. And so I think they found a really good formula. You can tell they're playing fast. They're playing confident. Their guys are all tied together. You don't see a bunch of mistakes. You can feel it's a really well-coached team.
You played with and coached an all-pro tackle before, so I know you have experience with this, but when you have the players on both ends that you do, how does that allow you to call a game differently?
We feel obviously very fortunate that Lane and Jordan are our tackles. I can't think of a better two-person combination in this league. They're phenomenal. They're phenomenal people. The work that they do, the confidence that they play with, it gives everyone else confidence. And we feel very fortunate to have them. Certainly that they can block some of these premier guys because these are really challenging jobs. They're some of the hardest jobs in all of sports, and they do it each and every week.
When there is a week given off to most of the starters, what's done in the following week to kind of offset not practicing or preparing for a game?
Yeah, I think Nick does an excellent job of really going back to last week. Utilizing last week in so many good ways for those guys to recover, but also get work done and anticipate this next week coming forward. And so I think we got a very similar plan, but a really good plan to attack this thing like any other week.
What's the biggest improvement you've seen out of Jaylen from week 1 to now?
I think he's just continued to play really, really confident while protecting the football, certainly. I think he's done a really good job in that situation. And then a lot of the situational football stuff that comes up, I think each and every week, the 2-minute, the handling 4-minute situations, when you're running the football, but you still need to be, we have critical third down passes in those situations. I think he's just done an excellent job of playing out all those situations.
Last week, we talked about Saquon being a special teammate. You mentioned the moment with Kenny, how he always wants Kenny to go in there and score. Is there anything else about Saquon as a teammate that stood out to you as well this year?
I just think obviously the way guys gravitate towards him and he embraces his teammates. Obviously, I think what's really cool is how much his regular season, and he's got over 2,000 carries or 2,000 yards, but he's really embracing that. This took everyone. And I think that's the cool part of this thing is it's a collective effort, it's a collective accomplishment, and so those guys obviously are kind of ready to turn the page and head into this playoffs and focus on that. So it's been fun.
All right. Can I get one last? Dallas got
bonus.
I forgot to ask about Dallas.
Yes.
Getting him back in the lineup, what does it mean?
So fun to see Dallas out there. He played excellent on Sunday. I thought he did an excellent job. Limited role, but took advantage of a bunch of opportunities. We were fired up to see him out there.
Thanks.
Okay, thanks.